All right. Yes. Yoel and Johnny Boy be ballin'. Welcome back. It is a very special edition of the fastest freaking show in MLB absolutely anywhere. With your boy. Oh, with your fucking boy. Johnny Stud, yo. What's going on? Follow me up on Twitter at John the Gazer Flow, sharpening the razor. Same handle over on Substack. Find out what all the hubbub is about. Pin post, have free samples. We got to get this fucking bitch on the tracks. Let's get going. So this is actually pre-recorded. I know you see the red light. It's running live, but it is pre-recorded. I'm recording live, but just at a different time while we figure that shit out. Let's get into the baseball, right? No time to waste. We got 15 games today. They're split in a 3-4-8. So 3 in the earliest window. That's like, your 12:31. The next set is I think 4 o'clock, and then everything 6 and later. I always like to focus on the commuter crowd. Again, this is going to be a really fast show. We're going to try to avoid too many stats and running on. I got to get out of here. My little guy's first communion. But I really want everyone to know that I do prioritize the show and the subs and the stack. And if you need me, hit me up. And when I can get to you, I absolutely will. Freaking Tigers sold us last night. What an idiot. I was talking about F5s. Those all hit, and all the fucking full game shit went haywire. And of course, the hit run Ribby thing I put out on Twitter, everybody gets across. Glaber's up is on deck, bases loaded with 1 out. Carpenter doubles plays in front of him. Then they go on the rain delay. He ends up getting 2 more at bats, gets fucking squadouche, and the fucking Tigers lose. They lost. 5-run lead. They lost the game. Oh, I'm hoping, if the Reds tie it up, maybe we go to extras and I get another at bat. Everybody will get this bitch home. Oh my God. All right, so let's just do the damn thing. Again, we're going to go board read today. Remember, if you're sending me questions, I'm not going to see them in real time, so I'm not ignoring you. First game, it's being played on the moon. Although, hold on, I got something for my boy, Jeff L., just in case he's here. Hold on, come on.
That doesn't work for me, brother. That doesn't work for me, brother.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Let me tell you something, brother. All right, so we're playing on the moon. It's German Marquez and the Padres. They're facing the Diamondbacks in Mexico City. No, you didn't read that total incorrectly. It's 15.5. So I'm not going to bullshit anybody. I took my results and I just kept inflating them until they met the Vegas totals. So please do not take this for anything other than that. I modeled this game the way I always would and then just inflated it proportionately. Obviously, we can't print a 5 and 9 when the totals are 7.5 and 15.5. So you're kind of defaulting to the market. Again, I really wouldn't do much in this game. What I might do is look for a bunch of hit run Ribby combinations. It looks like in a 15.5 game total, you'll probably get a bunch of them. The baselines are not set at 2, they're set at 3 today. But shit. At 15.5, almost everybody should get 2 or 3. So that's what I got on that one. If we are splitting hairs, I do have the Padres to win at even money. But again, this is in total disaster, and I really wouldn't be wasting, too much time on it. Next up, Jeffrey Poland Springs on the bump for the A's. They're plus 125 dogs in Texas to face Mackenzie Gore win. I have a wind blowing out signal, and the totals are still really low. So, all my weather sources had wind out in Texas where you would do a regular boost, right? We keep an eye on the books, but we're not slaves to them. And I'm still a little bit over. Just to give you an idea, I guess Springs has been, okay this season. Again, I'm going to get ready to move over to the 2026 stuff. I find myself citing it more. We'll have 2025 up also. I won't shut you out, but then we'll get all the splits and everything and all the matchup columns and stuff. We'll get that on Monday when I get a fresh start after this weekend. So Springs is off to a really great start. He's especially tough when he's at home, but he's on the road. It's not a great spot. I don't know. How is Texas been versus lefties? Again, when we're citing offense versus lefties, think year to date, versus righties, think last 2 weeks, just to try and keep the samples in check. unless I, kind of mentioned otherwise. I mean, Texas has been gross versus lefties, just an atrocious split. You can see it up on the board. Not that the A's have been any better. Both teams striking out like crazy. So there's your low totals, but just to be completely honest, this is not really coming off to me as a 4-8 total game. If anything, this is our classic 4 + 4 = 9. Both teams get the 4 with the wind out. 4 and 4 gets you that 9th run in extras. Both teams do have the 3.5 team total. So just by the model, I'm sure Jason will have his eyeball on this, our team total people. By the way, shout out my friend Mark from home. Hey, see you, bro. It doesn't always work this way. He's kind of he was looking for like casual bets and stuff, interested in baseball, always following along. Finally signs up, sees the, implied team total a page and was like, oh, so I heard you mentioning the specials. Do you just kind of bet the highest one? I was like, no, not necessarily, though sometimes you do, depending on the price and all that other shit. Bullpens, like we talked about. Yankees were at the top. He's a kind of a Yankee guy. He put like literally a few bucks, but paid for most of this year's subscription. Posted that on Twitter when I got that. Woke up to that green screen. I went to sleep feeling pretty good because I had more or less guaranteed the Marlins were going to win. I mean, right? I did. And it makes me feel very uncomfortable. And they killed it. But the Marlins had like 8 or 9 in like the 6th. So I didn't know if that Yankees ticket was going to hold. I went to sleep. I woke up and I saw that he hit it. I was really good for you, man. So, a million ways to skin this cat without scratching his asshole. So I think, long story short, I think I'm on the over. The numbers are trying to tempt us there, but like Gore and Springs are both susceptible to getting touched up. Both offenses, maybe have struggled a little bit. But in the A's case in particular, they've been really good last 7. So I'm 0-8. I really think that closes at 8.5. Moving on. Next up, Warbert Urania. He's going for the Angels. They're on the road as 135 dogs down in Kansas City to face Nat King, Cole Reagans, and the Royals with cheese. Man, these are one of those matchups. I feel like myself, even if you follow, I didn't really know who Warbert Urania is. And you'd be thinking, why isn't Reagans like a -190, -230? And, they couldn't be any different. Urania running a 2.35 ERA, Reagans with the 6 ERA. Though when you look underneath the surface, Urania's stuff probably going to fall apart with the crazy whip. He's walking too many batters, not getting ahead and pitching to contact. Let's say Urania gets served today. Reagans, on the other hand, disciplinary stuff, not what we expect. He's been very wild, not inducing chases. He's been a little bit unlucky with the homer fly ball rate, giving up 6 home runs. But, he's up in the zone and hasn't been great. Maybe a few too many 4-seamers. So I guess this one comes down maybe to Royals offense, who we keep waiting to do something, if anything. Hasn't really happened. I got it up on the board. Royals last 2 weeks, 450 plate appearances. Sorry, that's the total. Scroll over to the righties. 350 plate appearances on the nose v. righties last 14. Batting .231 with a sub-300 OBP. Too many Ks, too many swings and misses, too many chases. I guess they're elevating, getting some hard hit balls going, but if you're not going to pull them, it's going to be rough. Now, I don't have split steals. Got to be a little weird. They don't run, and that always seems to be that missing piece when we're wondering, like, what's going on with this offense? The missing piece just always seems to be, the lack of speed. You got to have that fucking need for speed. Speed. Algo says, it's reading under. I am like not feeling that. Just because I design the algo doesn't mean I like agree with it all the time. Because we're running under on the offenses. I mean, This is kind of screaming our under 4.5. So that's what I'm going to put. But I don't like that at all. And I mean, I don't have to like something for it to be a good bet, a winning bet, a plus EV bet. But I don't like it at all. I don't like when I talk through something and it's not say so far off. I wasn't going full gas can. I'm just a little bit worried. Model seems to be, again, it's not too much of a surprise, calling for positive regression for Cole Reagan's with the large body of work we've seen. And I guess Urania just doing a little bit of enough to get these crappy ass Royals bats to get in trouble. You see, again, the model, it's not like he has velo, right? Swing and miss, chase, and ground balls. The model is going to love that shit because those are the underpinning stats that fucking test out. I'm surprised with the crazy whip, though. So, yeah, I guess that's my play would be the under 4.5. But if you're not digging it, that'd be fine. Also, there is a little bit of a signal to bet the first 5 on the Angel side. I think they have the edge with the offense. And if Urania could just get enough ground balls, he could get, through 5 clean. That's why those elevated ground ball rates can be so effective. You can get the plus run for LA at minus 110. But my gut is saying Reagan's bounce back. But again, those could both hit, right? 2-2 after 5, 1-1 after 5. Those are both a fucking cash. So give me low scoring plus LA, I guess. Next up, Mitch Keller and the Pirates. They're on the bump. He's on the bump for the Pirates. Again, I just talked myself into a little bit of a Gordian knot. Keller is plus 118 dog to my fucking boy, Jacob Misiorowski. Here's another one. So this is a lesson we haven't mentioned much. Not to give our guy Jay Bird any more homework. I just have an affinity for people who are really driven. My guy always looking forward the process. This is worth tracking, people. And this was a side effect, like an added perk of putting the 3.5s up on the board. So it has to do with pricing and team totals. I'm going to put the board back up so you can see what I'm talking about. Milwaukee's at 4.5. Pittsburgh is at 3.5. Yet the money line is inside of minus 130. I forget who it was that was following these last year when this first came up. And not to say it's an auto smash. I can't remember the fucking guy's name. I have a bunch of quiet followers also. People that don't like to put their business out there. Ask me not to. But we'll say, you could talk about it, but don't highlight me. And they'll come in DMs and stuff. And that was one of the things I mentioned. Of course, like a million things I mentioned, and I don't follow up on because I'm only one fucking person. That put the light bulb on, started the brush fire, in the minds of men, which is what we do. And he was like, yo, there's something there. And it makes sense. Again, it's like almost low IQ. If the teams are projected for a full run difference by the book on the baseline, shouldn't there be, a better than 56% chance for that team to win? Simply put. So not to even do much, if any, analysis, give me Miz at minus 126. Feels like a damn steal. I'll spend another minute looking for just why. I guess the answer is the bullpen. So maybe that number is really taxed on the F5. That happens also. Oh, hold on. That was the run line. So the Milwaukee run line was even money. I don't look to cover that. I'd rather pay to play the full game. And they juiced it to minus 145. So there's the hang up. That's kind of the bugaboo. But I'm not buying this shit anyway. Take your bullpen shit and you can take your bullpen shit and shove it, Give me Miz minus 125. Whatever. Hopefully he can get you through 6, and Milwaukee is kicking ass, and it won't be in Abur Uribe's hands to fucking blow for us. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I got a win through 5, clean win through, and I even have an expansion of the lead, which is something I look for. First 5 full games. So, yeah, give me the Brewers to win it. Next up, New York Yankees. Ryan Weathers on the bump, minus 145 on the road against Mikey Burrows and the Stros. Man, up and down for both these guys, right? Weathers big topside. He's been the little girl with the curl. If you listen to Yankee broadcast, you hear Michael Kay say that all the time. That means you're either really, really good or really, really bad. A couple of sharp people I know actually were dropping Weathers in fantasy after, I guess, not getting the workload and then the blow up, but last 3 starts, went 8, gave up 1, walked none, struck out 7 versus the A's, gets lit up by the Angels who beat up on lefties. They hit home runs. He gave up 4 of them. And then the Royals went 7-1, walked 1, struck out 8. I mean, there's topside ace potential from Weathers. So I think we just have to be careful of the lefty mashers with the lift, which is really what you get with the Astros. Astros year to date, 300 PAs, very patient, lots of extra base hits. I don't want to call it a top 5 across the board offense because the disciplinary stuff is a little bit lacking. But they don't strike out. But if you do chase versus Weathers, that could hurt you. But, you're getting lift and you're getting pull and hitting home runs. This might be a bad spot for Weathers. And I think Burrows did the same thing. I know people were really disappointed after the big spring and kind of a strong season last year with some, breakout tendency showing. He's given up 10 earned in his last 2. 6 gave up 6, 4 2/3 gave up 4. He's given up at least 2 in each. He gave up 5 that opening one against the Angels. Been a pretty rough go for Burrows so far. 6 3/4 ERA, 1.7 WHIP. The approach stuff is not bad though. See, elite command, 34 ball is great. He's inducing chases. He's even getting ahead and not walking hitters. Keeping the ball down. I guess what? Burrows is going to be fine. 378 BABIP, 14 homer fly, 67 left on base. Those are the 3 legs of the Lux stool. Or making determinations on trajectory. Burrow's probably going to be fine. Now, how fine are you going to be against the Yankees who kind of crush, 409 slug as a team last 2 weeks versus righties? Kind of crazy, man, because they don't chase and takes walks. They're going to be challenging Burrow in zone. Both bullpens have been terrible last 2 weeks. Yankees 5.8 ERA, 1.6 WHIP. Astros 4.7 ERA, 1.5 WHIP. Neither with a K rate over 20. Zone contact rate under 86. They both given up 8 home runs in that span. So I think you got to be leaning over. I got 5 and 9. So I'm like making the face. I don't want to pay the 9. So for me, this is like the kind of cop out. If you're pairing, maybe you're buying it down to the 8.5. And if not, you're just leaving it. It's already sharp. It's already gone. Yeah, we like the offenses. Yeah, we like the spot. But if Weathers is through like 3 innings clean, you're going to be going, fuck. that line total is going to be 6, and dropping fast. When these guys, again, Burrows, same thing. If Burrows is out looking sharp, all of a sudden that 6 3/4 ERA is going to be looking pretty inflated next to the expected ERA, which is in the low 3s. So I'm not really crazy about anything there. Next up, Captain Jack Flaherty and the Tigres. They're on the road with the bullpen emoji down in Cincy after that fucking heartbreak yesterday. Quick check on the bullpen. Detroit was the only one because everyone, we had a big day off before that. Kenley Jansen, 2 of 3 with the blown save, 50 pitches. He's probably off. Finnegan, 2 of 3, 35. Vest, 2 of 3, 44. Herder, back-to-back, 15. So not a great bullpen in general, and those are all the top 3 guys. Tigers probably hanging by a thread with Flaherty versus Brady, the winning singer, who I'm not really into. I've got runs from the Tigers. A little bit surprised. Prices here, 107 minus 107 minus 103. So I got to check the F5 money because I think that's the one I want. We got the Tigers are the better offense. The Flaherty is a better pitcher than Singer. And again, if I wasn't, I don't know what the word is. All right. I mean, it was Framber, and you hope Framber could go deep, and there was like the delay. So maybe I shouldn't be beating myself up. But we were very clear yesterday. If it was close late, we didn't feel we had the bullpen edge, and we won an F5, but I didn't do that because I'm a fucking jerk. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So what I'm going to do is Detroit on the F5. I'm seeing a minus 115. That'll avoid the emoji and more of this fucking headache. But I think I'm going to get back on the horse for the Tigers. You know, you figure a bounce back spot. Though it's not like they needed it. They were in good shape. That man, Torres, that fucking killed me. You love hitting those public parlays, getting it out there, although really testament to the hit run ribby stuff has been very good. And if you're smart and playing these sharp singles straight, I mean, you're making money. We're making money because we hit the parlay, and I just want to be patient, but that sucked. Because Torres scored early, he had 3 fucking walks, and then just sold us out at the end. And I thought, we were going to get the cheapie, but Carpenter hitting that double play. That motherfucker hits a home run later on. Killing me. Next up, Colin Rea, who's been like straight up brilliant, if I'm not mistaken. Quick flip over just to confirm. Yeah, Rea through 24 innings, 3 ERA, 1 flat whip. Indicators are buying it. Elite command, elite control, crazy whiff rate, 39 whiff. I mean, that's like better than the best pitchers with a 53 ground ball. The model is going to be squirting itself over this one. He's got Roki Sasaki. Not to bury the lead. I got the Cubs for a outright win. Maybe no need to be greedy since Sasaki's kind of been the weak part. Not to bury the lead. Give me Cubs F5. I'm seeing plus 112, so it's going to cost us a little bit to get out from under the full game. I'm not even sure we want to do that. The Cubs bullpen has been so damn good. Even if I don't necessarily trust the arm talent with all the injuries, can't really front on how good they've been all season, plus the last 2 weeks, just picking up steam. They've been fucking incredible. Dodgers pretty good, always talented, and they could piecemeal. Again, I just have the Cubs for a win. I think the public's still kind of chasing Sasaki, who might not be long for this league. There's literally nothing of redeeming value. You can see he's got velo, swinging strike, left on base. You don't really brag about left on base. And that's it. So Sasaki's kind of been a trash can up against Rea. I know, obviously, right, quite obviously, the Dodgers are awesome. But the Cubs are hitting right now. Last 2 weeks versus righties, pretty strong. Good approach. Good elevation bend. Doing a little bit of everything. And then last 7, Cubs have been like maybe the best team in the league. 153 WRC plus, hitting 303 as a squad. That's 270 plate appearances. Dodgers in a bit of a lull, but they're always awesome, right? Even when they're down. I mean, this is when you want to attack. Strike while that iron is cold. But if the Dodgers kind of score in our face, I don't think we should be too shocked. But I think at the price, I think it's pretty lovely. The only debate for me is, you know, if I want the extra 30 cents to kind of increase my odds here. But I probably like the F5. Again, if Sasaki is good and it's tied, or if Rea is bad and it's tied, I probably just want out. I'm not going to be thinking about the Cubs L7 at that point. I'll be thinking, fuck. Next up, Zach Wheeler is back. Welcome back. Now, I always kind of fade these returns. Market hip to that. Phillies are a plus 109 dog on the road down in the dirty to face Bryce Elder. And the Bravos. Elder's been basically brilliant, right? And he's been awesome this year. You know, I remember covering it a little bit in depth, how the arsenal change and the, pulling back that sinker for more prevalence on the changeup really working for him. He's always had good command, and now he's just kind of parlaying it into being an effective kind of ground ball guy. Getting just enough strikeouts, too. I don't know if that stuff's going to last. Low CSW, low swing and strike. But if throwing strikes and hammering the zone, that could work. Phillies offense, are they the biggest disappointment in the league? Again, you see the numbers L14 v righties. This is going to start happening for them. L7 looking trashy, and I think that's been the problem is every time the Phillies are about to get there, one, they have not benefited from the skills, right? So it's always, they suck, if they, it's runners in scoring position shit, and it's like low BABIPs. Look at the Phillies BABIP. You got to be fair. They're batting 207. They have a 220 BABIP, of course, 266 PAs. They're not striking out. They're hitting the ball relatively hard. Again, you're not getting the barrels. You're not getting the runs. But even the homers have been there. But the guys are not on base. Again, not taking walks. They haven't been good. But we never want to do this whole they're fucking trash, like what the Laundry Bros do and just kind of bury squads. Maybe a bit too many uncertainties here. Out of curiosity, before we move on into the afternoon stuff, which I'm legit just going to blow through, I hadn't been tracking Wheeler's rehab. I feel like I saw a few fantasy folks a little perturbed over the velo, or let's say lack thereof. Wheeler's been terrible coming up. So check this out. He went 3, gave up 5. 4 1/3 gave up 1. 5 2/3 gave up 3. Then 4 gave up 4. That was the most recent with 2 home runs. That was AA also, which might have been right. Sometimes they go from AAA to AA. It's not so much a demotion as like a travel thing. They don't want them flying all over the fucking place. But giving up multiple home runs to AA players is probably not great. Those ballparks also maybe a little bit more of a joke. I don't know. If you have a really strong lean, I'd have to ask why. Is it we attack debuts? Let's go after Wheeler against Elder, who's been better with the better offense? Man, I kind of feel that. But all the regression stuff is pointing the other way. I guess my gut on the debuts would probably rule the day. And I probably like the Braves at the price, frankly. It's minus 106 now on the F5. When there's money coming in on the Phils, I wouldn't be shocked. No, it's minus 130 full game. Maybe people see the name and chase the brand name. All right, I'm out. If I had to stab it, show pick is going to be Atlanta F5. Because it had the nice minus 106 attached. Get the ability to push the tie and not get, frankly, totally disappointed. If Wheeler comes out and does Wheeler things, they may have seen something in warm-ups, in training, that was the green light. Okay, that was the velo marker, that was the biomechanical marker. This is going to be the things we just don't know. Man, I'm sorry. I'm still having my morning coffee. It's at fucking 7 o'clock in the morning. All right, let's blow through the board read. And then just get the hell out of here. I got to get going. I'm going to try and get the rest of the data set up before I'm out the door. I can only get up what I got. So sometimes key projections lag. and sometimes the advanced split stats lag. If you notice, all the totals, so the whole F7, the L14 overall, L30 and year-to-date overall, those are on me. I get those up first thing in the morning. The split stuff I have outsourced. I have to wait for uploads. We're working on something faster. Sometimes the actual API from StatCast is fucking slow. So I'm really going to do my best. At the very least, I'm going to come home after the ceremony before we head out for the fucking party later on, and I'll make sure I clean everything up, pick up all the questions. I'll try and get any picture changes. Again, I'm going to do the very best that I can, as always. All right, let's do the thing here. This is your rapid fire. So I'm going to try and board read my board so I can fill it right in and get us the heck out of here. Garrett Crochet in the Red Laundry, -105 on the road against Trevor Rogers and the Orioles. Now, I want to buy the Crochet bounce back. He's been off. Can't help but wonder if something's wrong. He said no. Rogers has been good, though we've seen a little bit of hiccuping also. I buy the Orioles offense way more than the Red Sox perpetual disappointments right now. That said, and this is kind of against the algo, my sharp feel says over, but I'm getting overriding that we're getting Garrett Crochet at -105. I think you take that. I'm not terrified of the Orioles bullpen. So I'm going to go Boston to just win. Garrett Crochet does Garrett Crochet things at 105. Next up, it's the Nature Boy, Brian Woo, on the bump for the M's -142 against Mr. Freedom, Matthew Libator, and the Cardinals. I've got a route not to bury the lead. Totals at 4 and 7.5. Model looking for a little bit of regression, both from the Mariners offense and from Libator in opposite directions. Mariners up, Libator down. So if I'm pairing, I'm going Seattle for the win. I think we have the edge each way. It's a little bit pricey. If I was playing straight, I think we have the signal for the run line. Seattle's got very good pitching. Woo is really great on a per inning basis. Cardinals offense starting to fall apart, and we're getting the ninth frame. So if you're playing it straight, I'm imagining based on the price we're getting plus money, you can't always assume these things you have to check. Okay, you are. That number actually, there's money coming in on the Mariners. That's now moved to -155. Hold on, I want to change yours in real time so you have calculations. All right, I'm still sticking M's to win. But now more so, if we're pairing, take the money line. If you're going straight, you're taking the run line. Given the price on Boston, maybe this is better served as a straight ticket, just to be honest. Right? I love the idea of parlays and making money and shit. And I have always loved the, low risk. Who doesn't love that? Right? Getting exposure to afternoon gambling. It's fucking awesome. I'm not bullshitting you. But it's really got to be a price thing. I know there's quads that bitch and moan about pairing fucking favorites and stuff. I'll be honest, the argument that they make for it is not the argument I make against it. And not to say I've turned, stubborn boomers around, but I have gotten raised bushy eyebrows, So, again, 100 ways to skin a cat without scratching his asshole. Just be fucking smart. Let's play smart. Next up, Joey Quintillo, my boy. Holy shit, that's my boy. On the bump for the Guards on the road, north of the border against Kevin Gausman and the Bluebirds. I was surprised to see this total at 8. I think it's going to close at 7.5. So this is another one. I like the, under. Now, I wonder if anybody can smell where, the rock is going on this one. And it's going for the juice if you're pairing. Right. So again, if you were putting a pair, there's two different tickets, different strokes for different folks. But at the same token, we don't want to be doing the things wrong. And I think there are ways to do things better and smarter than others. So where, you know what I should have looked is Boston the underdog. If we were both doing a true parlay ticket, like we're really being conservative, maybe you're taking Boston on the run line, right? You're taking the plus 1.5 Boston, Seattle money line, and then under Cleveland 8.5, where you're kind of juiced, but you're really leaning into all the strengths and actually trying to hit the parlay. Adding a minus 105 into a parlay is kind of crazy. It is. It's kind of crazy. You should be playing those straight. I've done my case against straight betting with the money available in money markets. Again, if you're so good at straight betting that you can guarantee 5% ROI plus the value of the time spent doing it, yo, all the fucking power to you. I don't have that skill. So again, everybody's a little bit different. So give me the under 8.5. I don't have a price, so not to be disingenuous, I'm going to put minus 130. That's normally what it is. How about I put minus 135 just to be honest. Next up, my boy Yuri Perez on the bump for the Marlins, plus 112 to Robbie Ray and the Giants. That feels like another misprice. Maybe not as strong. I mean, Yuri's had some struggles, but he hasn't been terrible. Ray's been really good, but for me, it's a little less believable. I'm looking at the Ray stuff. For him, it's command control. Robbie Ray has a 92% left on base. I mean, no. How about new? How about new? Oh, man. I mean, I like Miami to win. I've got Miami as a win. And bullpen-wise, they've both been strong. Giants bullpen has been incredible, which is kind of crazy. My boy Sam was pumping him up. He knows his shit. He's also a West Coast guy. I think he watches a little bit more of this than I do. I know he does because he's doing 12 o'clock shows and fucking, a week. What is that thing that you are when you are not sleeping? I swear I am not as smart as you think I is. I am so smart. All right, so maybe this one's F5 ski, huh? I got plus 105 on the full game. Miami F5. I get even money. Yeah, I think that's what I want. Let's go for Ray to just have his little mini collapse. The Giants offense fucking stinks, right? We're not really debating that part. Totals are at 4 and 7.5. We're just so freaking low. I don't like to go under the 4. I guess maybe if we're talking the juice, maybe the parlay. So the straight play here is Miami F5, right around even money. The parlay pieces go up on the F5U4 and go under the 4.5. I'm a little bit worried about the Ray collapse. I like the Marlins offense more than most. So I'm putting Miami F5. I'm getting Yuri at even money. So, I could dig on that. Another one, not the Miami bullpen's been bad, but again, if you're in these late games against the Giants, you don't feel like you have the edge. Next up, Jose Quintana on the bump for the Rockies. They beat the fucking Mets. Of course, I need the Mets to get one win in this series to advance me in a high-stakes Survivor League. Of course, when we saw 2 wins early in the first series, we were like, oh, man, we're good, aren't we? And, of course, they went out and lost to the damn Rockies. I had the Mets run line because I thought the Rockies would collapse coming out of the altitude. Did they? I don't know. Don't they? Won't they? The Mets fucking blow. And has Senga not even been good? Right, Senga was like fantastic to start, and then did that go the way of the dodo? So he's been bad also. I was a little surprised to see this total At 8, I'm with the model on the over. Again, can't help but wonder if I could get the 7.5. Now, maybe I should be looking more at. See, I've been talking shit about DraftKings. My bookie's been really great, and they're actually working fast. Oh, and they have all the old total stuff too? Okay, so the 7.5 is minus 145. So, it's the same take here. If you're going straight, let's go over the 8, understanding the risk of a push. If we're going to parlay, we'll go over the 7.5. Pay the juice. I'll be honest, that 145 is a little heavy, even for a parlay. I'd be shopping that around to see if I could beat that. I don't like to go beyond 132, 35 maximum. This, like, crossing the 40 Rubicon is not touching me in the right ways, touching me in the wrong ways. So if you agree with that at all, just go over the 8 and don't make fun of me. Just a couple left. Bailey Ober and the Twins on the road against Sugar Shane Mack. Money, 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 money. And the Flat Fucking Fish of Florida, they're minus 125. Model is starting to get back into Bailey Ober. Has he been good? He's been okay. It's Shane who sucked. That's been the big disappointment. Again, when you get these returns from injuries, yeah, deal with potential floors. I've got the Twins modeled for a win here, and if I'm not mistaken, they've got the like a major pen edge also, just performance-wise. Twins kind of coming back to earth. I'm a little torn because I'm like, you know what? Hold on. Let's just double check really quickly. If these are 4s and 8s, I think we're going over. I'm especially over on the first 5. No, let's just get over the 8 and move it on. That Met one is staring me in the face too, and it's kind of pissing me off that minus 145. I'm actually getting rid of it. I can't do it. I can't even as like I just can't do it. If I post a parlay, then that's a different story, right? If you're doing the afternoon parlay, trigger all those conservative plays. If not, I can't even put that up as a show pick because I don't want anybody doing that. Bad. No. Bad juice. Bad predatory casino practices. But yeah, I'm over on those two. Colorado, Quintana, Senga, Ober, McClanahan, I don't think should be in 8 total games. I think those are 8.5 to 9 total games. Next, it's Jake Schwerven Irvin on the bump for the Nationals against Noah Schultz and the Pale Hose. Now, the Schultz workload thing is an issue, but the Nats bullpen is a crazy issue. This game also falls into, right, look at the totals. White Sox 4.5, Nats are 3.5, and we have a minus 130. You're betting the White Sox to win. I almost feel like unless you're getting a crazy signal against it, the model should agree, right? I mean, it's not my work. It's a fucking Las Vegas. Yell at them. They have now Nats total 3.5. I know we're fucking jacked up. I know it's a lefty and we're jacked up. Schultz is filthy though, man. And he came out and sucked. The people are LOLing and everything. He's fucking really good. Once he hits a groove, can be really top, like real topside, like SP1 type. Workload could be a thing. You got to be worried. I'm looking at like White Sox F5, maybe even White Sox like F3. I may go 5. Well, I think the Sox hit Schwerven. He fucking sucks. But I think Schultz went 5 anyway. Right? They were talking about limiting, but he went it. Yeah, he went 5 full last time. He threw 82 pitches in each, so maybe that's his ceiling. Yeah, we go 5 innings. Although Nats bullpen's bad, right? Oh, no. You never don't shorten Nats games. We want those at bats. I know the offense can be tough, but we want to face that. Now I start wondering, like, should we just maybe go for the White Sox team total? But I do like these run disparity plus price things I was mentioning. Oh, that White Sox full game is at 145. We got money coming in on Schultze here. Okay, so let's go White Sox team total. And I think that'll do it from the fastest freaking show in MLB absolutely anywhere. Oh, it's your boy. Love you guys very much. Again, apologies for not being late, but I really try and, give it the all. So if I have to sacrifice timing, but still get a full complement of work at what I hope is the highest quality, then, fucking so be it. Remember, it's not madness.
This is Sparta!
Yes, it is, King Leonidas. Please don't kick me in the fucking pit. All right, everybody. Enjoy the weekend. No shows on Sunday, or was the schedule. I may rip that waiver pod again. That's behind the paywall, just 1, 2, 3. If it's early, maybe I'll even mention a couple bets as well, and people kind of scroll through it. But if anyone was wondering, I did rip that. It's been really helpful for me. I'm playing in a couple of high stakes, NFBC leagues, and if you don't pour attention into waivers, you're cooked. And even as somebody who does a fucking waiver column at The Athletic, if you follow fantasy baseball, I keep thorough and constantly curated lists. Between Thursday and Sunday, they're not worthless, but the chance that something happened which becomes pertinent and kind of affects information in the ripple is almost like 100. It happening is 100. It happening at almost every position is near 100. It just seems to be always the case that there's one ad and that bumps everybody down. And then, should I drop this guy? So I've been enjoying the waiver pod. I get to talk through it. We run through playing time. That's the number one thing. Foreseeing playing time. Guys that are starting to sit versus righties and lefties. It's really huge. It really is. So it's benefited me. I've been pretty competitive. It's so early to be going nuts about standings. As long as you're in the middle somewhere, right? As long as you don't want to be last and floundering. Don't be too high if you're in first, and don't be beating yourself up. If you're even doing poorly. I won a main event qualifier a couple of years ago. This point of the year, I was in stone cold last. And thinking now, yes, it was a last place team. It wasn't a flounder team. It was if you could be a competitive last place team, there's consolidation. And if you got a little jump everywhere, you could do some skipping. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. It did. And I won that bitch, but you're going to grind the whole fucking way. Then I kind of took for granted, and I have sucked the past couple of years. I tend to miss lineup stuff sometimes. The deadlines, can't be taking zeros, and can't be fucking up waivers. Got to be early on those bids. So follow me up for fantasy help as well. Those lists that you see on the sheet, those update in real time. I keep that same list. They update in real time. Priority players are in yellow. Again, I do it all the time, but with a special focus on Thursday and Sunday. So that's what you can look forward to on Sunday if you really miss me that much. Data is up every single day. Sometimes I take the day off of betting. It depends how today goes, and we'll see. So that'll do it. Again, just thank you for picking up what we're putting down here. We're closing in on 500 YouTube subscribers, which is really kind of cool. The views are ticking up slowly, and we're maintaining from what I understand, I'm not going to pretend to know YouTube analytics, but I've confirmed, is a insane watch time. So if you're here, you're fucking family. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to change for that. I'd rather build a community slowly of people that are smart or sick of what's out there for something better, right? We deserve better. I'm trying to fucking deliver it. So enjoy the day. Enjoy the games. And when we're done with the book, enjoy the pay that didn't rhyme. This time, at least. I'll see you, right? Hopefully tonight we're getting laid like an egg and paid in the shade. Love you all, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hit me up if you need me. Just remember, when you work this freaking hard, man, the winning